Hello everyone, TAC1421 here. Welcome back to another episode of Throwback Thursdays, where I take an old gameplay from my channel, somewhere on my channel, and revisit it, do a new commentary on it, and just have some fun with some old gameplays. If you want to check the gameplay out in its glory, in its original commentary, if you will, you can go ahead and check that out in the descriptions. But I was looking at the commentary, and it just goes to show how far of a commentator I've come in the last few years, and just the new equipment and stuff that I have, and just kind of all that stuff. Especially right there, you see I accidentally make 4 swords, something that I probably wouldn't do nowadays. But this was a very fun game, and the reason I chose this game is it kind of kills 2 birds with 1 stone in what I wanted to, the commentary I want to do today. The first one is Stiffhades wanted me to do a gameplay with him, so here you go, Stiffhades. There's a gameplay with you when you play soon, so we can get some new gameplays. I know I want to do that, and Amp is playing. We're playing more, so hopefully you can play with us some more. I'm sure the audience would like to see some more gameplays with you in it too. So the other reason I chose this gameplay is I'm here in California. We're having some kind of like storm, and it's very rare. I know a lot of places especially like in Florida and on the East Coast, they have lots of storms, and some places northern and all that stuff. And I'm talking about the United States, and they have lots of like snow days and stuff like that. I know when Amp was at Boulder, he had some snow days where the school was snowed in, if you will, and then classes were closed and stuff like that. But right now I'm having finals week, and for the first time at this school, and I've been here, they are actually closed. They closed down because it was raining too hard, and people couldn't get out of their house and stuff like that. And people, there was nowhere to park because the parking lots were all flooded. So they actually closed down campus for today. And luckily enough, I didn't have any finals today. But this is finals week, so it just goes to show like they did not make this decision lightly. So it's raining pretty hard here, and I thought I would have a gameplay with Poseidon because he is the Water King. The name of the episode, I believe, was Poseidon the Water King. And it's just a fun little gameplay that kind of brings back some good memories. Right here, we're late to the feast, and I am Poseidon, which gives you a strength boost in water. So we're going to go ahead and jump in here. This Coleman guy was on an absolute rampage when I showed the stats at the very end of the game. He got like 9 kills, and there's about 20 players left when I think he got knocked out in 20th place there. So we get all the goodies that he had, which is fantastic. I believe one of us got a diamond sword. I could be wrong on that. I know I got the helmet right there, and then that puts me on full armor because I have some boots in my inventory that I didn't actually see when I was playing the game, but I eventually put it on. So, and then we go to the feast just to see what else is in there, but there's nothing much there, and it kind of just shows you where the game's gone. This is back in the day. This is, Poseidon was one of the best kits because it gave you a strength boost, and there's no real kits out there that gave you a strength boost. Nowadays, you think about all the kits that have come up in the past and may have been retired at this point, but things like Cookie Monster gave you huge speed, huge attack boost, as well as things like. Oh, there's so many kits out there. Berserker, Urgle was a kit that was a fairly old kit that came out pretty much right after Poseidon, and that turned out to be one of the best kits of its time, Urgle, because it gave you the strength boost. But nowadays there's just so many kits out there that give you the strength boost, and I wouldn't be able to name them all, but there's just a ton of different things you can do to get strength boosts in the game. But Poseidon, during this time, there wasn't really many things you can do, so that's why it was so good, is if you had that bucket of water with you and you can find some sources of water, it just makes it so good because that strength boost is so overpowered when it comes to trying to defeat other opponents. So also, you can just see where the game's gone in the regards of how many players are left at this particular time in the game. Beforehand, I mean, there'd be as many as like 30 to 40, maybe. In this game, I think there was about 25 people at the feast when it starts. And nowadays, there's normally around like 6, sometimes even less, and sometimes the game even finishes before the feast even starts. So it was very rare for that to happen in the early days, but nowadays it happens quite frequently where there's not very many people by the time the feast rolls around. And there's also, in this particular game, there's no pit, so maybe that kind of went into it. There's also more players playing the game, and there's somewhere around 150 players that started each game, and sometimes it would be hard to even get into games because they had a cap of how many players could play, and you'd have to have like MVP or something to get into the game. But we eventually killed this person. He was running around us, and we just eventually caught up with him, and not sure what he was doing here, but I do eventually get the kill. You can see Amp actually has the diamond sword, and Stiffades and I have the iron sword, so it's good that one of us has the diamond sword. Also, back in the day, there was only one enchanting table, and the guy we just killed had it, so that's kind of cool that we got the enchanting table. I got the sharpness 1 sword, which is fantastic, and yeah. And also in the game, I believe it starts to rain in the game, so it kind of goes back to the whole theme of it's storming here. It's also storming in the game, another reason why I picked this gameplay. But we eventually tried to hunt down all these players. It's getting pretty late in the game now, as far as it's 40 minutes in, I think, maybe 30 minutes in. I could be mistaken. I kind of forget how long the game lasted, but we'll see in the stats later on. See there, 4 players left in the game. We didn't actually hunt that guy down. There was, out of the other 2 people that were left in the game, it just ended up dying. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and enchant all my stuff. Besides my boots, I think I only have 2 levels, so still pretty good. I don't know why I chose to enchant the helmet first. It's probably better to enchant your chest piece and then your leggings, and I usually enchant my sword first because the power, the sharpness 1 is so good on the sword in comparison to, I guess just the armor. So this guy has a cape, and in the early days, capes were pretty rare to have. I think you had to go to Minecon to get those capes about 2 years ago. Now you can just get them whenever you want, but back then I think capes were pretty rare. So this guy has a cape, so I was really jealous at the time when he had a cape. And I tried to kill him with Poseidon, but it just really was not working. And then Amp just goes over and kills him, and I kind of watched from a distance. He was the one with the diamond sword, so yeah, he got the kill. He was Cultivator, got that kill. I'm not really sure what Stiffhaze was. I kind of forget what kit he was, but I guess we'll find out. So right here we have a cookie fight. Both of them were the Cookie Monster skin, and some random skin that I found that I didn't have for too long. I think I only had it for maybe like a week or so, but just happened to have it in this game. And we just had a cookie fight, and they were going after each other pretty hard, and I was just kind of trying to hit them from the back and not trying to take too much damage. So I think I killed Stiffades there, and he was a Barbarian. Okay, so Barbarian was one of the first kits, one of the first 3 kits, and it was a lot different back then than it is today. Nowadays, I think it's a better kit than it used to be. Before, it just gave you a stone sword, and that's all it did at the very beginning of the game, because people weren't as good as making swords right away in the first minute of the game, and it took people a little while to make those swords. So they gave you a sword, and that became a pretty good kit, and one of the better kits when there was only like 3 or 4 of them. So you can see there I get 4 kills with Poseidon, including I kill Amp and Stiffades, and I eventually scroll down here. Both Amp and Stiffades got 1 kill each, and then I scroll down to see the Coalman guy, and you can see that he had 9 kills, and he got in 20th place. So he got 9 kills in 30 minutes, which I guess isn't too bad, but you just see how long the game lasted. We would have eventually gotten to a pit nowadays, but this game lasted 1 hour and 12 minutes, and that is crazy just to think about how long this game lasted. So I do hope you guys enjoyed this Throwback Thursday. It was pretty fun. If you guys want to check out some other series on my channel, I am doing a mini-series of my quest for the Quarter Quell, and that's going really well. I've recorded all the games. If you want to find out if I made it to the Quarter Quell, go ahead and check that series out. It's going to be 10 episodes in that series, as well as if I do make it to the Quarter Quell, then I will upload the 2 Quarter Quell games that I play in. So go ahead and check out that series and other Throwback Thursdays as well. If you want to check out the original gameplay of this, all that stuff will be in the descriptions down below. Be sure to check it out, and I'll see everyone for next Thursday's Throwback Thursday. See you then. Peace.